Hey, Kingdom
Hi,
Couples.
Kingdom Couples. Good evening. Good evening.
What's going
Come
on?
on in. We're so excited to be back with you all tonight. Come on in. We have a very interesting topic, we feel, and we are hoping that you will come on in and join the conversation and the discussion.
Yep.
I'm just sharing to my Facebook page. And then we'll get right into it.
How was Valentine's Day, everyone?
Yes.
How was Valentine's Day? Did y'all get your flowers and your cards and everything, beers on time and everything like that?
Did y'all listen to the advice that we gave y'all? That's what we really want to know.
Exactly.
Did you wait to the day of? I guess the real truth test is going to be asking the wives how the Valentine's
Wives,
Day
how did
was.
the husbands do? And sometimes we got to ask the husbands, how did the wives do?
Yeah. Well, I'll start. Craig did really well. He listened to my list. Actually, there's still a few things on the list that I wanted that we haven't gotten to, but he made it a point to say whenever I want to go do it, we can go and do it.
Yeah.
It's just that it was on a weekday, a work day, so
There's only so much you can do.
he was fully ready to, take me out and everything, and I was like, I need a nap.
Yeah.
So I said, let me take a nap first, and then I'll wake up and I'll see if I feel up to it. But when I first got home, he said, you have 2 gifts around the house that I hear you need to go and find it. And as I got close or not so close, he'll say I was cold or hot and stuff. So I found the 2 gifts that he had for me, 2 things I requested. So it was really nice.
Yeah, it was like the hot and cold game.
Yeah, it was nice. It was fun. And so then, like I said, there was a few more things on my list. And he's like, we can go do it today. And I was like, I just need a nap. If you've been following my pregnancy journey, which hasn't been a lot of updates, but I did give one today. I just been so tired. And I know all the moms out there can understand. And the dads probably too.
Oh, yeah.
So, we just wanted to check in and see how your Valentine's Day went. Hopefully it was great. Hopefully you all had a great time just celebrating your love and, your journey together. And today, what we want to do is talk about a real interesting topic. But before we get into that, we also have an announcement for next week. Next week, we are going to have another guest couple join us for Marriage Talk. We're going to have the Adams all the way from Texas. They're going to be joining us via Facebook Live. They're going to be sharing with us and discussing with us, and it's just going to be great. So we'll announce it again later, but we'll let you know now that the Adams will be joining us all the way from Texas. And we cannot wait to have them as a guest on Marriage Talk. So please don't miss next week, 7 p.m. Put it on your calendars, and it's going to be a great time. I'm looking forward to it.
Yep.
I'm really looking forward to it. So thank you for your continued support and continuing to be with us. And we can't wait to see what they have to share with us next week. So without any further delay, are you ready, honey, to get into it?
I am ready.
You ready?
Actually, I'm gonna close this door a little bit because
it's time to get a little cold.
Yeah,
We got the thing on. Blessings to you, Josiah. God bless you. We've been missing you all on here. So nice to see you tonight. Thank you for joining us. We're so excited about this topic tonight. We're excited about next week's topic with the Adams. We are going to have a great time. So
I think I saw that it was Chris's birthday recently, today or yesterday or so.
Oh, wow.
Gotta let him know we say happy birthday.
Happy birthday from the Bartons.
Yeah, I think I saw it was his birthday.
Happy birthday.
Ivan.
Good evening, Brother Ivan. Thank you for joining us. It's interesting because tonight it's not showing us. Oh, on Monday. Well, happy belated birthday. Hope it was a good one.
Yep.
Hope it was a good one. I'm sure you made sure it was a good one, Josiah. It's not showing us, unless you all comment, it's not showing who's tuning in like it normally does. I'm not sure why. So continue to comment, and that's the only way we're gonna know that you're on here, okay? Not sure why it's not. So, honey, you want to tell them what we're talking about tonight? We want to get into it.
Yeah, we are talking about personal time and space, mostly time in marriage. So you know what that looks like. You know, when you're single, you had your girls' night or your guys' night, and you know every Saturday, every Thursday, every Monday you went out wherever you went with your friends, maybe a sibling, and you know that was it. No questions asked. But now that you're married, how does that look in the frameworks of marriage? Personal time with friends, maybe with siblings, cousins, family, co-workers. How does that all look under the umbrella of marriage? So we're going to discuss that today.
Yes.
And yeah, hopefully you guys engage as well.
Please engage. Hey, Jessica. Thank you for joining us. Blessings to you, Chris. Happy belated birthday to you. Thank you for joining us. So let's just jump right into it.
Yeah.
I want to just start off saying how I feel about it. I feel that, you know, there should be a balance between, you know, first, let me start by saying this. I do feel that personal time, even in marriage, is important. It's important for you. Like, personal time for me sometimes looks like going to get my nails done, going to get my toes done, going to get my hair done, and things like that, or hanging out with a friend. I think that's important. If that's something that you desire, that's something that, you know, I don't know, it makes you laugh when you go out with your friends, it's just a good time, it's refreshing, I think it's important. Where I say the word balance comes in that, I think there definitely should be a balance, because as a married man or woman now, you're in a different season of life. You're not in that single season anymore, and you have a family now. Whether you have kids or not, you have a family because you have a spouse. So you have different responsibilities. That spouse requires your attention as well. And if you're always taking personal time, if you're always taking me time, there's no time to prioritize your marriage, your relationship with your spouse. So I think that definitely has to be a balance. It can't be like personal time, me time every single day, right? No. But I think each spouse should allow the other spouse to have time where they go out with friends or whatever it is that you enjoy doing. Now, with that comes another conversation too, but we'll get more into that later. So what are your initial thoughts about this topic, personal time?
Yeah, I think there's absolutely a place for personal time in marriage. Mm-hmm. I mean, the word does say the two become one. So you are one.
Yeah.
However, you are still your own individual. You have your own personality.
Yeah.
You have your own background. Mm-hmm. You know, you probably have friends, family. Mm-hmm. You know, you still have your own almost like identity, social security number. Your social security number never changed. Mm-hmm. You still have your own personal, you know, what makes you you.
Right.
And you know, there's a place to still attend to that. Attend to your friends, attend to your family, attend to the things you like to do, things of that nature. Now, when marriage comes in, they should say correctly, there's a balance. Yeah. Those friends can start to blend in with your marriage, with your spouse, your family. Obviously, they start to blend in with your marriage and your spouse, the things that you used to do that you enjoy doing as a single person. They start to blend in your marriage and with your spouse as well. So, you know, for example, I like professional basketball games, going to the Celtics games and different things of that nature. So I can't see me going to those by myself, but now I go with Naisha, you know what I mean? But also, there might be a time where me and Ivan go to a Celtics game at some time, you know what I mean? So you see where there's correlation between some things are going to start to blend in with your marriage and your spouse, but also there's some things you may still do with your friend. So I didn't know Ivan when I was single, but, you know, say I knew Ivan back in, you know, 2017, prior to 2017, and we went to Celtics game. I can see us still doing that today if we're still, you know, although I'm married. So there's some things you can continue doing with your friends and your family. The only time I would say maybe not to do it is if it starts to disrespect your marriage or your spouse. Then at that point, things you used to do as a single person, places you used to go as a single person, people you used to hang out with as a single person, and friends, even family, that may not roll as a married person if they disrespect your marriage or your spouse.
Yeah, it is so much to this topic. Like, while you were talking, I'm thinking of a million things to say. First thing I want to say, I want to speak from a wife's perspective. And this is vice versa, but just speak from a wife. Because you mentioned about, like, if you had known Ivan before, like, y'all would probably have been to games and stuff together. And that probably continue as a married man. Yeah. And me, my personality, I would have absolutely no problem with it. Yep. I really wouldn't, for several reasons. I trust my husband. I trust, the person he's going out with. You know what I mean? That's a big thing. I know the person he's going out with. Y'all go have fun. Y'all go have y'all guy time. I want to say to the women, like, don't give your husband a hard time about going out and, maybe it's playing golf. Maybe he likes to play golf or something like that. Don't give them, we're talking about clean fun now, right? We're assuming we're all Christians and that we all love the Lord and we live according to his word. So the things that we're saying that each spouse may want to do is not things that's against God's word. So again, going to a basketball game, going out to lunch, whatever, going to play golf, things like that. It's all cool with me. I have absolutely no problem. Yeah. I find that sometimes women give their husbands a very hard time about that, and what it really is exposing like trust issues that may be in the marriage, and not to diminish that needs to be addressed, but don't let it come out in times where your husband's like, oh, I want to go and do this, I want to go and do that. That's not the time to be like, make it about something else. Be like, well, we don't spend time together. Is it really about y'all not spending time together, or is it really about you're not comfortable with him leaving? And that's something to talk about, but don't make it about that in that moment. So I just want to encourage the wives that if you will need to ask questions about your spouse's friends, do that before then. Be like, oh, I noticed you talk to JJ. I'm just making up a name. I noticed you talk to JJ more often. Is that like a new friend? How do you know JJ? Do you see yourself spending more time? Ask all the questions that you need to ask prior to. So when your husband comes to you and be like, hey, me and JJ we're going to get lunch, or me and JJ doing this or whatever, it's not this big old fight and blowout. Because you don't want your spouse to feel like they can't go and have this time to release. Sometimes they might just need somebody to talk to, a guy to talk to. Not necessarily about their relationship or nothing like that. They just might need to blow off some steams and talk about something other than serious stuff. Laugh and joke with a friend that they necessarily feel like at home is probably a lot of seriousness. It's a lot of, chores and tasks, and let them have that. And more times than not, they're going to come back to the house more refreshed for you and the family.
Absolutely. I agree. It's healthy for your spouse to get away. I mean, that may sound a little strange, but it's healthy to for your husband, for your wife to get out the house. Because, as much of a homebody as I am, just sometimes I like to get out the house, whether that's just go to the mall, just drive around, whatever. I just like to get out the house, get out these four walls, and, get some fresh air, maybe go see, some family, maybe go see a friend, you know what I mean? So that's okay, as long as that is still respecting your marriage and your spouse overall. But there should be an expectation where, it's like, okay, if I'm not home or if I'm not going, you stay home. Right. You know what I mean? That's not healthy for the relationship. That's not healthy for your spouse. That's not healthy for the marriage overall. For example, Naisha's pregnant now, and some women, I'm sure there's women on here who can attest to that. After a woman gives birth to a child, a lot of time, spent taking care of that child, taking care of that baby, and usually in the house because the baby can't be anywhere and everywhere. But then that puts the mother in a position where she's always in the house. And you talk about postpartum, you talk about depression, you talk about all these different things. So it's good for the husband or the wife to get out the house, enjoy themselves, see their friends, things of that nature, and not be chained to the inside of this house.
Absolutely. Now, I want to say this. What shouldn't happen is that spouse is secretive about where they're going and who they're with. I wanna make sure that we have that distinction. We are fully supporting giving your spouse time to have personal time, whether that's them by themselves or with a friend. What we don't support is that the spouse is secretive about who they're with, how long they're going to be out. They're coming out all hours of the morning and night, and y'all haven't discussed it. That is not okay, because that's where we talk about that balance. As a single person, that may have been okay for you to come in at 2, 3, 4 in the morning, even 12, 1, whatever time that you felt was comfortable. You didn't have anybody to answer to. It was just you. It was okay for you to go hang out with whoever and not tell anybody who you were hanging out with. But as a married person, you are accountable to your spouse. You're accountable to God first. You're accountable to your spouse. Your spouse absolutely has every right to know who you're hanging out with. How long are you